Hey everybody, how are you guys? You guys doing all right today? We got a really small group, which is nice, right? Because we can all chat like friends. Let me know if you guys are seeing me live right now. Yep. Hey, Daphne and Susan and Suzanne and Corey and Joybird. And hopefully Ginny's watching somewhere. I know she said something about watching it from a different place. And maybe T-Barb will come back. Oh, we had, hey, you guys. Hi, Flora. Hi, hello, Kat, Mary. How are you guys doing? It's all good. Awesome. It's really weird. About 6 people just disappeared. So I don't know what happened there, but I think in the future, you guys let me know in chat what you would like. But I think up to a certain number of people, I wouldn't mind doing this on Zoom so we could see. Kathleen, thank you. Yeah, I will. What do you guys think about doing this on Zoom in the future? Had to plug it into my TV and just deal with it today. Okay. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about? You're back. All right, Joybird. Uh-huh. Okay, you're used to this. This is good. Unstable internet. Sorry, Suzanne. It's always something. Hey, yeah. Well, maybe we'll mix it up a little bit. You know? The nice thing about Zoom is we can all see each other, and I feel like I'm chatting with you. And right now, I feel like I'm chatting at you, right? There's no real back and forth. Okay, yeah. Well, that's what I say. Maybe we'll mix it up. You know what I mean? People that can do Zoom, we'll meet on Zoom once, and people that prefer this, we can meet here. And it's a really small group, which is nice. It's really nice to keep it intimate, right? So you guys have any questions for me? We're right here together. We have about an hour, maybe a little less, to hang out together. I know you guys have questions about something. Maybe it's just because I've taught so many classes. It's nice. Hey, Jenny, it's nice to look at somebody when I'm talking to them and they're talking to me. It seems more personal. But I get it. Zoom is not for everybody. Some people don't like the setup of the video and that kind of thing. It's only Head and Shoulders, Daphne. You have dye on it. Oh, you have dye on it right now. Well, see, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay, Suzanne says some more tips on how we know that we are in fact talking to our guides. That is such a big thing. To be honest with you guys, it's probably one of the biggest things that we could be talking about right now, because somebody just sent me an email that said that she's clairaudient. She woke up and she heard hello, hello, hello. And she said she woke up and was hearing someone say in her ear, hello, hello, hello. And she said, goodbye. I thought that was awesome. How do you know if it's your guides? And T-Barb, I'll get to your question in just a second. Yeah, you can have a profile picture up if you don't want your video up on Zoom. That's why I did that video with the meditation, if you haven't watched it yet, and I put it on Patreon. Really and truly, you guys, now this woman's thing was she's clairaudient, but if somebody talks to her, she just I'm not talking to you, right? I'm only talking to guides that I can see or feel, which is one way to do it, because I feel like they're picking on us that are clairaudient right now. I feel like we're being kind of targeted. But how you know, Suzanne, is you really want to feel it. You want to feel it in your body. You want to really get to know your guides. What do your guides feel like? What is that? So for a long time, I was clairvoyant. So I would see them, but I didn't associate clairsentient feeling with them. So sometimes when you're using your clairs, you're using one, and sometimes it's hard to use them together. So, like for instance, with mediumship, I would see people's mouth moving, like my guides. I could see them and I could see their mouth moving, but I couldn't understand or hear what they were saying because I was focusing on the clairvoyant. I was focusing on seeing them, and my clairaudient wasn't working in concert. So it's a lot harder to get them to work together. Okay. So what I'm saying is that if you're connecting with your guides, I want you to clairsentient. I want you to feel them. I want you to work on really, really work on what do they feel like? Even if it's like a cold breeze, or it's love, or it's protection, or it's just something you recognize, because that's going to be your litmus test. That's how you're going to know. Now, the more you work with your guides, you'll also just pick up on their energy, and you'll know this doesn't resonate. Something's wrong with this picture. So hopefully that helps. Uh-oh, you don't have any sound or video, Daphne. Go out and come back in, maybe. I know, Jenny, you are clairaudient. Yeah, it feels like a loving communication. It should. Yeah, I'm here, Daphne. Come back in. Let's see. Can Daphne see the post? Let me just tell her. Okay, so let's see. T-Barb. I'll come back to that if you have more questions. Since we have a small group, I can just round robin and jump back and forth on the subjects, okay? Yes, we should all show up in our curlers and clay mask and our jammies. Okay, heal your mom's lungs. Can you ask your guides if it's working? You know what they're telling me, T-Barb, is there's quite a bit of damage to the lungs, but it is working. Okay, so what they're telling me is, I'm not a nurse. I don't know what they're talking about, but they're talking about capacity, right? So when you breathe in, how much capacity do you have to fill your lungs up? And not having that capacity, I think, makes people feel nervous. It makes them feel like they can't breathe. So I want to tell you that it is working, but it's slow, and the results are a little bit limited, but it is working. Are you doing this, T-Barb, like through Reiki or through some kind of energy work? They're telling me what would also be helpful for your mom is to work on her anxiety, whether or not she's showing it anxiety or not. She's feeling anxiety, and you may just want to work on calming her energy. If you see her energy body, when I look at her energy body, it looks ruffled. It doesn't look smooth. Okay. So what you would do is just imagine her energy, those energy waves that make up our body, and smoothing that energy. And you could do that from anywhere. You don't have to be in the same room with her. You can just smooth the energy. You're going to just see, I wish I had that picture, but there's a picture of outline of a human body. And then it has outlines around that outline in different colors. And that's our, etheric, body. I want you to smooth her energy. And then what they're saying is smooth the energy around her bed, and then smooth the energy in the room. So does that make sense, T-Barb? Trying to grow alveoli. Is that a lung thing? Is that like a plant that's good for lungs? I'm going to go back and forth with these questions. But I just saw an interesting question about two psychics. The question was something about, what do we do when we have two psychics that have different opinions, but you like and trust both of them? I don't know where that question went. we don't always know everything. I think people, I don't know everything. I try to stay connected to my guides, and as long as I can, I'm pretty accurate. But if I slip out, if I slip out of that connection to my guides, I'm wrong every time because it's ego. So it could be that these two psychics are just describing different angles of the same situation, right? But honestly, that's why Kim and I teach together, because we agree on a lot of things. We're in agreement about spirit and how people are on the other side. And we talked about that before we started teaching, because we really believe that, for instance, people say, if you're reincarnated, you're not available anymore to talk to in spirit. And that's not true. Our higher self is always up there, right? There's always somebody up there that's going to represent Susan, whether I'm alive or dead or reincarnated, it doesn't matter. And I just had a conversation with a medium friend this morning about my own mom who died when I was 7. And I said, she's so far away. That's what happens, is they get so far away. So my mom has been dead since 1972. So her energy feels really far away, distant. When I talk to her, it's not like she's here. Like, my dad was in my truck on Thanksgiving Day going to dinner with me, and he's crossed over. So, but they're available. It's not that they're not available. They're just further away. So some mediums say, oh, they're not available anymore. I guess I don't know what to say about that, except for that maybe that's for you to decide. Maybe that's for you to make your own decision regarding that particular thing. Hey, Tara, welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. I'm kind of bouncing around. Okay, you live walking distance, doing it from home, very agitated when next to her. Yes, T-Bar, because she is very agitated. So they just gave me chills. So they really want you to work on her anxiety. So I think it's very simple. I mean, I think I could do it, and I'm not a healer. You're just going to either take your hand and just do this in front of yourself and visualize her energy. It's bumpy, and visualize just smoothing out like you're icing a cake. They're telling me you just want it to be smooth. It'll really help her. I'm gonna bounce back and see if I can get some of these questions. I was told by Jen that I'm an Andromedian, a starseed, and how I found out more about that information. It's something I can't mention to anyone in my family, or that think I've lost my mind. I know. I know. We know. That's why we have a community here. We support each other here, right? So those of us that don't feel comfortable talking about this stuff can come here. How do you find out more? Corey, okay, they showed me a book. I think that what they're showing me is your Akashic records, actually. What I would suggest that you might want to do, Corey, all of this stuff, in my opinion, the thing that's important about it is how do I use it in my life? Or how does it make me better here on earth right now? How can I improve myself? Or how can I use this to understand my life better, my life choices better, right? Any of those things. So, for you, I want to say that I don't know what you're up to these days, Corey, but I feel you have a creative. I feel you're creative. I feel you have a creative energy. I don't know if you draw or doodle or do those adult coloring books, but they're telling me be easy with it. So don't work too hard at this, because when we work hard at psychic medium stuff, it doesn't work. When we go like this, it doesn't work. You almost have to be in the flow of, you have to relax into the flow of it. That's why everybody says to meditate, because guess what? Your ego mind goes to the side, and then your consciousness, your subconscious can actually, work with those energies and get you information. So if you meditate more and you can relax about it, because I feel like you also have a little bit of, I don't know, tension about it. Like, I'm not sure about it. Like, when you think about meeting aliens, like, how does that make you feel? But I think if you can relax into it, this information is going to come to you. They're telling me it's going to come to you. You may do automatic writing, which is, basically you're going to do a meditation, get yourself nice and calm and relaxed, and then just take a pen and paper. Don't do like I did one time. The pen was closed, so I was writing like this on a blank page for 10 minutes. It was not pretty. I couldn't even read the indentation. Make sure your pen is on, or if you're a typer, type it. So how you do automatic writing, you can look up videos on it, and anybody can do it. Anybody. You're just going to start typing. And sometimes I say, of course, what are we going to do? Connect with our guides, love and light. Make sure that you're surrounded by love and light and you feel it in your body. And then I sometimes say, I would like a message from my spirit guides. I write that. I write the date. And then I start typing. And you can type A, B, C, D. You can type anything. It's kind of priming the pump. You're kind of priming the metaphysical pump. You can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But here's the thing. Here's what you need to understand. You've got to write whatever you get. If you see taco, you need to write down taco. I'm not kidding. If you will write down what we call word salad. It'll be just words that won't make any sense. And then after a period of time, think about priming a pump. The water's dirty at first, right? It's not drinkable. So after a period of time, you can start getting sentences and information. But that's one thing they're talking about for you, Corey. That was BC Mom who asked about the psychics. Every time you meditate, you fall asleep, RCT, and that's okay. I mean, people say if you're falling asleep when you're meditating, then you need rest. I mean, that you really need rest more than meditating. But if that bothers you, sit in a chair. Don't lay down. I sit in this chair. And do a guided meditation, because that your brain is still working to understand the words, and that usually will keep people awake. Let's see. Suzanne says she sees people that she doesn't know in her dreams. One tall one said hello there and disappeared. I hear them and feel them. That's the thing, Suzanne. That's what I'm telling. This is, what can I say about this? It's not evil, but who are these people, right? I mean, it's like you opened your front door to your house, not only unlocked it, you opened it, and any person walking down your street is going to walk in the house and check out your house and be like, hey, how are you doing? You know what? No. So what that means, Suzanne, is that you're open. Okay. This is what people told me. I wasn't like all the other psychics. I was like Rudolph. I'm open. I was born open, not closed. Most people work to open. I have to work to close. So, Suzanne, what's happening with you when you sleep, you're even more open, right? Because at least when you're awake, probably from when you were younger, you learned how to block. So when you're awake, you're probably doing a pretty decent job of blocking. But when you're asleep, you just open up. So I had to, because I had some other issues when I was sleeping along that lines. I have one particular guide that I asked for, who's a protection guide. And I started bringing him in before I go to sleep. And when I don't, I have problems. Like last night, I forgot to do that. And I woke up at 3 a.m. calling him in to take care of. There was somebody standing right in front of my bed. Now, of course, it wasn't a figure that was in this time-space continuum, but it was an energy. And then I called in Ziggy, who's like my protector. And Ziggy, as soon as Ziggy got there, I heard the word decoy. So that was not even the figure. They send energy. Right? They send energy as decoys so that when that's nabbed, they're not nabbed. So this is just stuff that if you're open, Meaning, if you have been seeing stuff your whole life, you as a child, you saw ghosts or you saw things that you couldn't explain, that means you're open. And if you're open, you need to be more careful about protecting and blocking, because you don't want any Tom, Dick, or Harry energy walking into your consciousness. Yeah, so Suzanne, then you need to block more. So again, normal psychics, meditate, practice, stand in the power to open, to receive messages. And then they close. Well, I was like, I don't understand. What do you mean open? I'm already open, and they didn't understand me. They were like, how can you be open? What do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have to do anything. I just go like this and boom, there they are. So what you need to do, dear, and if I didn't tell you this right, it's not negative, but when at some point it might be. Your front door is open. 9 people walk by and 8 of them are just inquisitive people that want to check you out. And then the next one is a jerk, right? I mean, you just don't want to be, in my opinion, you don't want to be that open. Okay? So what I would tell you to do, and it's very simple, guys, you just close down and you open up. When you want to connect to the other side, you open, you can turn the lights on. You can use that as a visual. Okay, when I work, I wear my ring. I wear my labradorite ring. But it took a long time to get spirit trained to that, okay? But in the beginning, I would just turn the lights off in my mind and see the lights kind of fizzle out. And then when it got dark, I knew the connection was off. And then when I wanted to work, I would turn the lights on. I mean, it's kind of good spiritual hygiene to just do that, right? We should all do that, because I'm telling you guys, we're ascending, we're getting downloads, we're getting energy upgrades at the same time. The veil is thinning. This is going to mean that the fence that kept us all separate is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Where pretty soon it's just you're going to be able to hop over it back and forth very, very easily. So everybody's going to have more experiences. I hope that makes sense. Tara says, sometimes I use a diffuser with space clearing drops from pedal tone. I sleep very really. Absolutely. Right. I had to start doing that too. I started sleeping with the music that has even though it has, you're supposed to use earplugs, right? So because it goes in the left side brain. But I do use that music. For one thing, it keeps my dog calm, which is good. Well, you're looking for certain rings. This one, I think I got this one at a gym show. If not, I got it at an art fair. I think I got it at an art fair. It was about $100, not terribly expensive. It's not super. I mean, it's just metal with this labradorite on it. You can get them on Etsy. I have a lapis ring coming from Etsy, so you can get them on Etsy as well. If that helps you out, Jenny. Yeah, Kate. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes, they're telling me the pages of your life, right? You were a child. Wow. And before we start school, we're so connected still. That cord is still attached. So absolutely, you were looking at the pages of your life. That's really cool. But what's frustrating is, like, when I see that stuff, I can't read the darn pages. You know what I mean? It's like, there they are, but I can't read them. But that's, yes, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, Tara, that's good. It's good spiritual hygiene. Create a sphere around you of protective light. I'm on the fence about this. I was told by a shaman, and I get it. Do you guys know that thing that you're not supposed to say, I want, because that implies lack? You know what I mean by lack? Means you don't have it. I want money, right? And then so the universe gives you situations where you can have more of a want for money because that's what you asked for. It doesn't make sense, but I want money. So the universe says, oh, okay, here's some more experiences where you can want more money. So it's the same thing with protection. This shaman said, don't use the word protection. It's not a good word. I mean, you're asking for situations in which you need more protection. So it's hard though, because it's our language. And you know what she said, and I'm not a linguist at all, but she said and we should look this up. She said other languages don't talk in the vernacular of lack. You know, their verbs and everything are all switched around backwards for us. They're worded in a different way. I'm going to have to look that up because I found that very interesting. But she said, you know, even safety to me, if I'm asking for safety, aren't I still asking for reasons to be safe? Right? So I think that because I'm asking for safety. So I think what we need to do is imply I am safe. I am safe. I feel safe in my sphere. I feel safe and whole and protected in my sphere. So now you're saying I already have it. It's the same thing with money. I am abundant. I feel the abundance, right? You talk in the sense of I've already got this. Yeah, Jenny is right. Man, you guys with the healing, you know, Jen went to the she went to the surgeon or to the doctor and they sent her to the surgeon. But before she could go to the surgeon, you guys all sent her Reiki. And then when she went to the surgeon was like, yeah, you don't really need surgery. We'll check on you in a week. It really had that kind of effect on those kidney stones that she had. So you're right. When you're in chat, ask all those chatters to pray, send your mom Reiki or whatever. You know what I mean? It's big energy here. Yes, anytime you feel anxiety, imagine smoothing your energy and do that. If it's for you, do that with breathing. You know, really deep breaths in and out. Breathing is, well, look, we do Lamaze to have babies, right? So breathing is really important. I don't know if I've skipped over some, but I'm going to see here. Let's see. Yeah, Katie, it's interesting. I have this, I don't know what this thing is called. I got it in New Mexico. It's absolutely beautiful. See what I'm saying? They don't want me to wear it. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God. I don't even know where it went. Let me get it. Golly. That's crazy. Okay. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at it. See? That's nuts, you guys. Oh, I just pulled the thing off my microphone. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. The little connector's off of it. So I love this thing, but Jen said I need lapis lazuli, not this. And so I think I bought this because it looks a little bit like lapis lazuli. You know, it's blue anyway. It's a gorgeous ring, but it doesn't work. Like I put it on and it doesn't work. It doesn't feel, right to me. Katie, yeah, and I am protected. I want you to say, I'm enjoying protection. I'm always protected, right? Yes, those words. Yes, I am always safe and protected at all times, Daphne. Exactly. Energy is my energy and your energy, and those are light. Yeah, and only those of light are allowed here. Yes. Yes, right, Susan. So speaking of keeping dogs calm, I want you guys to tune in to whatever animals you have. Because I've been having this thing with my dog all summer long that I haven't told anybody about because it was actually really a hard summer for me because she wouldn't let me sleep. Whenever I tried to go to sleep, she'd wake me up because I was going out of my body. It's a very long story, but I was going out of my body and I which is normal. That's not unnormal. That's not abnormal. But I accidentally gave permission to these energies, these alien energies that they weren't of the light. Now, they weren't evil, okay? Because I can pick up on evil. This is what I'm trying to tell you. They're spiritual hecklers, right? They're tricksters. If you're tuned into evil, you're not going to catch this because they're so good at blending. They're so good at just being sort of neutral, right? So anyway, that took me a long time to fix that problem. But RT says, how do I get my dog to stop patrolling and barking at night? I think she has been trained to see. She has us trained to come see her and to get her to stop. No, dear, she's trying to tell you something. Not all dogs, like I had a lab with this dog, and she couldn't see spirits so much, but this dog can see spirit. She sees things I don't want to see, so I don't see them. I just block it, like I was telling Suzanne to do. And she scares me, like her eyes get really big, and I'm like, oh no, what's in the house? You know what I mean? And she's looking over here, and I look over there, and she's looking over there, and I'm looking at her, and I'm looking over there, and I'm like, I don't know what she's looking at. But in your case, dear, your dog is trying to tell you there's something bothering the dog at night. I feel like it's a ghost. Is your mother-in-law? Where are you in the chat still? Is your mother-in-law crossed over? Can you tell me if your mother-in-law is crossed over? Starfish. I'm going to talk about it. I really am going to tell you guys all about it, but I'm telling you, it was so traumatic for me. I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep for 3 months. I like to sleep. I don't have problems sleeping. You know what I mean? I'm not used to not sleeping. Okay. Your mother-in-law, you're in the chat, but your mother-in-law is not crossed over. Okay. Is there a woman on the other side that didn't like dogs particularly? Not that she was mean to them, but she didn't particularly like dogs. Because if it's not that, then I think it's a female ghost in your house. I have a friend before I started doing this full time. She went on a really long vacation, 3 weeks to Europe, and her daughter and another woman were taking turns staying in her house that had just been remodeled because she had a flood. And so no one had lived in the house for 3 months, and they had just moved back in. And then she went on this long trip. So there was somebody staying with the dogs. But the dogs started freaking out and scratching at the floor to the degree that the dog's nails started bleeding. And because this woman was in Europe, nobody told her. I mean, what are you going to do? So when she got back, she came back and the floor was messed up, this newly done floor. The dog's nails were down to the quicks bleeding. And she said, and she got home and she thought, well, everything's going to be fine because I'm here, right? They did it because I wasn't here. No, that didn't fix it. They just kept on freaking out. And then when I looked in, there was a guy there. A guy, I think his name was Pete. I don't remember his name now, but he was there and he was like, I'm training the dogs. I've been living here with the construction workers. I came in with one of the construction workers and I'm living here and I'm training these dogs because they're not behaving right. Well, when I crossed Pete over, those dogs literally stopped doing that instantly. The next day, boom, they went sleeping on their beds. No problem. So ghosts can really, really affect your animals. I had a client this last week who I was like, something's in your house. You've got energies, you've got things in your house. And she said, well, I know because my cat won't even come to me and hasn't come to me in a year. She just stopped coming to me. She won't get near me. I'm like, oh my God. So you guys, when that stuff happens, pay attention. Your dogs and cats, they're trying to help you. Okay, then it's not your grandmother. Yes, I know, but I really feel like it's a ghost, RCT. I think it's a ghost. And I mean, I don't like it. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like the energy. I don't like that energy in your house. It's not evil, but it's not happy. It's not a happy, fluffy thing. It's not attached to you, dear. It's in your house. It does stay outside and you know, like does this through the window or the door. I don't feel that, see that. I don't like that. I don't like that energy. That's bad. And he got to go. When you do that stuff, you got to go. You just crossed the line. Yes, but maybe she's protecting you. Maybe she didn't bark because this thing is, you know, you see what I'm saying? Is she attached to you? Okay, Susan. Yep, I agree. Go check out Rachel. I'm sure she got some stuff to say. How do you get rid of it? They're not always easy. I've had this problem too. But I'm going to tell you to, the first thing I want you to do when nobody's looking, because they're going to think you're crazy, you can buy a big box of salt, a box, and you're going to take this salt and you're going to sprinkle it all around the perimeter of your house. Okay? Like the outside of your house. Because that's step one. That's nothing, you know, and while you're saying that, while you're doing that, you're going to say nothing that, let's see, how do you want to word this? Only energies and people that have my highest good can enter the house. Now, sometimes they say just put it on the door, but for you, I need you to do the whole perimeter. Okay. And it doesn't, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be like a lot. It can just be a sprinkle. You know, you don't want people to walk up and see a half inch of salt around your house, but just enough. Let me see. This dog thinks this thing is trying to get you. I don't think it's attached to you, but I think its energy is pointed towards you, right? And you want to know why? Because you have abilities and you can sense it, whether you're aware of this or not. But your husband doesn't have, he doesn't get it. They don't mess with people that don't get it, because they're not going to get a rise out of you. They want to get a rise out of you. They see these hecklers, tricksters that want to get a rise out of you. So, okay, they're telling me call in Archangel Michael and have him come in and take it away. Do the salt, call in Archangel Michael, call in Metatron. I call in Metatron too. If I feel like I need extra, I call in Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron. You need to deal with it though, dear, because trust me when I say, when you don't deal with this stuff, they call their friends. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, it's like over the summer, it's like somebody had taken my spiritual phone number, my spiritual cell phone number, and put it out to the universe and said, for a good time, check out Susan. I mean, everything was hitting this house. Everything. It was insane. See, you don't want that. This is what I'm trying to say with Suzanne. You don't really, even if it's not bad, you don't want these people to have access to you, because you don't know when these gangs of bad ones are going to show up and start really causing a lot of trouble. So try those things. Yeah, Tara, I know. My dog is like that. And sometimes, you know, cats do it often, and it's not a big deal, right? If it's just a ghost that's not bothering anybody, or if they're seeing a crossed over loved one, I'm good with that, right? But if the dog starts panting or crying or shaking or being destructive, then you've got a problem. Or if the animal like RCT, did the dog change its personality toward you? Did it become less friendly, more standoffish to you, or more close to you, or the same? Because that's an indication as well. Some people really swear by red brick dust as well. I don't know where that came from, Katie. I don't know if that's a Southern thing. I'm not sure. But red brick dust is also something I've heard of. So whatever feels resonant with you, salt is easier to get. I don't know where you can get, oh, you're tired. Yeah, see. He's jacking with you and you don't even know it. These ghosts take our energy. They can make you tired. They can make you sick. Hoodoo. It's hoodoo. Okay. It's hoodoo energy. But I don't know where you get it. I don't know if you can get red brick dust someplace. I'm not sure. But you can get salt at Kroger's. I'm sorry about your Lily. Yes. She's still with you. Don't worry. She's still with you. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just reading your comments, Tara. So it got worse. She would get up on my bed and bark like she was trying to protect me. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Please don't end up where I went, because it took me 3 months of not sleeping. I'm not kidding you. My dog would she's 70 pounds for one thing. She would get on me and lay on my chest to protect me. And if I dozed off, she would wake me up. So as long as I was awake, she would sleep. It was terrible. It was a terrible, terrible time in my life. I know I'm hard-headed and I got to learn things the hard way, but dang, that was rough. Oh, you got yours from a construction site. Okay. I mean, theoretically, you could get like an old brick, a red brick, right? And with some safety glasses and a hammer and pulverize it. I don't know. She is a big dog. Yeah, she's very big. And that's uncomfortable to have a 70-pound dog laying on your chest. And this dog is not like that. She doesn't even like sleeping with you. But she would sleep with me. She would lay on me. She would pant and shake. It was horrible. I felt bad for her. I didn't know how to. I tried Archangel Michael, Jesus, Metatron, you name it. I tried it. And you know what they told me? You have to do it, Susan. We can't help you. You want to talk about freaking a person out? That freaked me out, because I was like, Jesus can't help me? I mean, I'm not even religious, right? But honestly, Jesus is a free, he's a free whatever. You know what I mean? He works for all teams. Free agent. So the reason that was the case was because I had given permission, meaning I had heard clairaudiently, will you help us? Of course I'm going to help you. Yes, you're asking for help, of course. Jesus could, Jesus typically doesn't fight. That's why you get Archangel Michael, because he has the sword. He's the only archangel with the weapon. But later on, when I got through to the other side of that, Jesus did protect me. He did. He was right in there with everybody else fighting. It was pretty wild around here. Yes, I asked them in. They said, will you help us? And I said, of course I will. So Metatron wouldn't help me. I'm telling you guys, it was the worst. It was horrible. It was really, really horrible. I can't tell you how bad it was, to be honest with you. I couldn't put it into words. Once I managed, I went to, I don't know how many different people I went to, how many psychics, how many Ghostbusters, shamans, everybody. I went to a shaman who got rid of it for a short period of time, but it didn't fix it. And I didn't like the energy. I felt like I was using negative energy to fight negative energy. And that's like, well, okay, now I'm going to get in the mud with you, You know what I mean? If I'm going to get in the mud with you, then that doesn't make me any better than you. So I didn't like that. I ended up finding an energy healer who said, you gave them permission. They're all right here. And they're saying you gave them permission. I'm like, I know, but I want to take the permission back. I knew at that point that I had done that, but I couldn't find a way to revoke the permission that I gave them. So she helped me revoke the permission. And as soon as I did that, my dog slept through the night that night. I mean, I felt like a miracle had been performed. Now, this dog is still reacting to, they call it shadow boxing. She sleeps through the night, but she gets a little anxious at night. She'll get on the bed, she'll pant a little bit, and then she'll go to sleep. That's huge, right? I mean, that's a huge, huge thing. Cool. I got to tell you, I know your names, but I don't know your names. First of all, I'm terrible with names. And second of all, I'm used to seeing your YouTube names. So Hurricane, I dreamed I was running, but my face was black and flat. I kept looking over my shoulder, remember saying, I don't want to remember the rest. Wow. Right. What that feels like to me is when we're at night, a lot of us skywalk or astral travel, and sometimes you get into a bad neighborhood. You know, you really do. I feel like let me ask them. That was either a concurrent life or a past life. I can't tell if it's concurrent. You know what I mean? We're living multiple lives at the same time, or if it was a past life. It almost feels time is not what we think it is, right? It feels like a life that's not exactly concurrent to you. It feels like it's just behind us. It's somewhere else on the timeline. But you had a glimpse into that life. Wow. I'm sorry, Suzanne. The only dark energy you ever felt was your dad until he was crossed over. I'm sorry. That's terrible. Yeah. Once Melissa Free Range Psychic crossed my dad over, my dog changed back to his normal self. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. It could be that you have a ghost that doesn't like dogs. Like that dude was training these dogs. He wasn't training them, he was abusing them. He was terrifying them, right? Oh, you asked your guides to gently reveal it to you. Dang, girl. I'm not sure I'm ready for my guys to. I mean, I'm on a need to know basis. Do I need to know that? Yeah. Who helped me revoke permission? She's a fantastic healer, but to be honest with you, she just got diagnosed with a really bad illness, so she's not taking clients. And on top of that, it took me 2 months to get in to see her. Her first opening was 2 months out. And she's not taking clients right now. And it's a really bad illness. And I don't know that, I just don't even know that she's going to come out of it, to be honest with you, or else I'd share her name, but she's not taking clients. But I will tell you guys this. I had one of the things. So when I went to New Mexico, right? The first cancellation this healer had was smack in the middle of my vacation in New Mexico. And I was like, I don't care. I want your first available. I don't care what time it is. So one thing led to another. And I ended up in New Mexico having like 5 readings for whatever reason, because spirit just, that's the way it was. And one reading that I had that was really, really powerful, you guys, is by the rustikraven.net. The rustikraven.net. by Mary. It was probably the most profound soul retrieval that I've ever had. And that was step one. That was like a few days before this woman that helped me do the revoke the permission. And I'm not sure if I hadn't done that work with the rustic raven, I'm not sure if that one would have been as successful. I almost feel like I needed to do them both. The shaman, the healer she's an energy healer. She's not a psychic or a shaman, but the shaman is the rusticraven.net and Mary. Oh yeah, that you asked them to reveal it before the dream and then they revealed it. And so like, my point is like, do I need to know this? You know what I mean? Like, is this going to help me in this life? Then by all means, let me know, give it to me. Right. But I don't want to experience things that aren't really going to help me, because in the end, what it does is it makes you go off on a rabbit trail trying to figure out what it means. Right. And then you find out that maybe it doesn't have as big a bearing here on this life. Mary Jo, Rustic Raven is great. Yeah, those are the girls in Florence, South Carolina. That's correct. Yeah. Mary, though. I use Mary. And she was so good that one of the things that she first said to me was, and I'm telling you guys, this is our little membership. I don't talk about this stuff. And I've never told anybody this in my life. Like I never mentioned this to nobody. As a young child, my mom died when I was 7. Bad enough anyway, right? And I would see these red glowing eyes in my bedroom at night. Just the eyes, red glowing eyes. Terrible. It would terrify me to death. And I've never told anybody that. And one of the first things she said to me was, tell me about this entity with the red glowing eyes that you saw in your bedroom as a child. I was like, for real? You know about that? And she was like, yes, it's really bad. We're going to deal with it at the end. But are you aware of it? I'm like, yeah, I am aware. Believe me, we got rid of that sucker too. She really did a fantastic job. And she's not expensive. Yeah. So Tara, what happened? Free range helped you decord my ex-husband with the Peloton essences as he was invading my dreams. Yes. Fantastic. Peloton essences. Tell me about Peloton essences. Is that something you like, an essential oil? Yes, you guys, these people, not only do they have your soul pieces, if you ever broke up with somebody ever broke up with you, or you had a traumatic relationship, be it a friendship or a work relationship, they've got a piece of your soul. And there's a contract around that. You gave it up. And then in your life, you keep that contract going. And so getting your soul piece back, you tear up that contract and then you're able to kind of move on without that. Petal tone. What is it, dear? I can Google it. Not oils, but waters. Wow. Interesting. But she also decorded. You're saying decorded. So she also actually cut the cord between your ex-husband, right? See, this is good to know because some psychics do this kind of work more than other psychics. And sometimes this is what we need, right? So I don't know if I don't know all of Melissa Free Range's what her products or services are, but RCT with the dog, if it doesn't get better, you may want to look her up. You may want to look up Melissa Free Range Psychic and see if she can help you get rid of this entity. Yeah. See, and it's even worse when and of course you would have multiple lives with them because the energy builds with every life. So then when you get to this life, it's not like a normal relationship, right? It's this like super energy. Yeah, Katie, you got that right. It's a company. Okay, I'm going to look into that pedal tone. I'm going to open it in my Google just so that I don't forget. It's aura and crystal clearing essences. Wow, that's cool. Thank you for sharing. I will check it out. I've been through so much that I'm all about, I will throw whatever at it, like the kitchen sink. Yes, absolutely. Hurricane, what do you mean when you say you want your S back? Did I miss something? I might have missed something because it's kind of hard to keep up with. Even with only 19 people in the chat, it's hard. You said you saw 2 aliens while lucid dreaming at 2 different nights. Dr. Gale indicated that they were your children. Yes, I've had a reading with Dr. Gale. She's really good. And I'm going to tell you guys, I stayed purposely light in my meditation so that I could really be aware of what was happening. And I described to her what the ship looked like at the same time she was describing it. So I know we were seeing the same thing. In other words, she's good. She's really good. But I really think soul, you want your soul back. Not your soul shit. You don't want your soul shit back. Hurricane, why do you feel like your soul is not there? That's concerning to me. Thank you, Tara. I will check it out. All right, Daphne. You saw Daphne is saying she's good at it. RTC, check. You guys check each other out. Daphne, just be careful. This is what I'm saying. Some people, this is their thing, right? Like, it's not really my thing. I mean, I can do it, but I end up getting myself in trouble. So you have to be willing and you have to feel like you can work with those energies. You can work with those more negative energies. Some people can do it, and it's just it's their thing. It's like that's what you're good at. Okay. Right. Hurricane, you really should consider going to this woman. I tell you guys, I'm not even lying. This session that I had with her, it was an hour and a half. They go from an hour and a half to 2 hours. It was the most profound thing I think I've ever done in my life. That's how profound it is. I went back to a life. I went back to a past life where my soul piece was missing, and I saw myself. I don't know if you guys want to hear these stories, but I saw myself as like a Nefertiti or like some sort of Egyptian kind of thing, and I knew I was either a queen or something. It's okay, T-Barb. I understand. I hope you watch the replay. So here's the thing. She puts you in this meditation, and in this case, I was deep. I mean, I remember I recorded it. I really suggest you guys get your laptop, get an extra phone, find some way to record this stuff. Her name is it's therusticraven.net, therusticraven.net, and her name is Mary. The one that I used is Mary. She's one of the founders. So I had 2 soul parts. Leslie Jane. Okay, cool. Great. Hurricane, keep working at it. Just how many? I just told you I had like 5 readings. I mean, you just have to keep working at it with different types of modalities until you get everything fixed. You know? I had 2. She took me into, it's a big long story. But she was really good. When I went into the Akashic, how did I find the soul pieces? When I went into the Akashic records, I was walking into the door when this entity came at me And I said, I don't feel, and my voice was like almost robotic, right? I said, I don't feel comfortable. That energy is not a good energy. So then she called in the god of the Akashic underground records or something. I don't even know. He came in, that person left, and then that guy walked me into the Akashic records. Now, that guy, my feeling for him was that he could either kill you or save you. He didn't care. He was neutral. It wasn't, oh, my child, I love you. No, there was none of that. It was like, mind your P's and Q's, human. We're going to get through this. Jack up, mess up, and it's not going to go well for you. So I was like, great. So I go into this. It reminded me of the old time safety deposit box rooms in a bank. So you would go into this corridor and you go into a room, and that's your room. Okay. On this dais, everybody's different. Everybody's going to be different. This is the way my mind and my consciousness made it happen. On this dais was this torso. I kid you not bloody, no head, no legs, no arms, just a torso. And I knew she would ask you questions. She would say, what are you seeing? And I would describe it. And then she would say, where's your soul part? So I pointed to the heart of the torso. And I said, it's in the heart. And she said, okay. I don't remember how I got from there to Nefertiti. She said, that's what she said. She said, who has it? So boom, all of a sudden I'm in this place. And I remember the colors being like, I'm thinking, these colors are absolutely amazing. Like moss green, but this velvet moss color, like tapestry that was hanging, that I was just mesmerized by these colors. The purity, the intensity of them was just amazing. And so I'm looking around and I see this woman. Y'all, this story is going to blow your mind, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now. This is going to flat out blow your mind. I see this woman. I know it's me. And I said, I'm there. I'm the woman. And she said, okay, what's happening? And I said, I'm a monster. And she said, why? And I said, because I kill people. And she said, why do you kill people? And I said, well, I was living in this, whatever it is. I don't know what I was on the inside. So I don't know if it was a castle, a temple. I don't know. I was living in there. My husband was the king or whoever, the pharaoh, the king, whatever it is. And I had a boy, and the boy was about 9. And the place got raided, and here comes these enemy people. They had killed the husband. They come in, they take control, and they immediately grab my son in front of me and they disembowel him while he's alive in front of me. And then they let him die slowly in front of me. And so I can't do anything, right? Because they're going to kill me. I mean, they've got knives against my neck, everything. I can't do anything. And they would not let me force them to kill me. You understand what I'm saying? I couldn't lean into the knife. They wouldn't let me. So this guy now becomes my husband and my boss, basically, because he's the new ruler. And I have new kids with him. But because I saw my boy get killed in this way, I never want to risk ever feeling that way again. I never, ever, ever want to have that kind of grief. Okay? So now I have kids. I have 3 kids. I think I have a girl and a couple of boys. And I don't want to ever be at risk for that kind of grief. So as these kids grow a little older, they go out. And, this is a time when people die easily, right? You get a disease, you fall down, something hits you. It was very common, right? So whenever one of the kids would come in and would be injured or have this near miss, I, as this woman, would kill somebody. I would just reach over and kill them to prove to myself that I had no feeling. Right. So when I saw my kid and I was like, uh-oh, I have a heart. I'm feeling sad. I'm upset. I'm anxious. Oh, wait, I can't feel that way. I cannot feel that way. I would just reach over and kill somebody. It was horrible. I was a monster. So we got that piece back from her. So however many hundreds or whatever 1,000 years ago this was, how has that soul contract that I don't have that soul piece, it's not in my heart. How has that played out through all my lives? Now to get to this life, it's been diluted, right? I'm not a monster anymore, but I still have problems with protecting my heart. So that's been diluted, right? So when I got the soul contract back from her, she did this ceremony while I'm still in this deep meditation where I hold the contract that says I can't be vulnerable, right? I can't let my heart be vulnerable. So let's say that's the contract. I hold the contract. She says, hold the contract in one hand, and the other hand you have fire. Burn the contract. So you burn the contracts. So why I think it's important to record it is because that contract you need to know about. You need to make sure to watch for it, to make sure that you really did burn it. So, well, I don't care. I was a monster. I want to tell you one more because you guys were talking about aliens. Here's another one. I had a soul part in a rabbit. I'm seeing a rabbit. And you're listening to yourself and you're going, first of all, my voice sounds crazy. And second of all, why am I seeing a rabbit? I saw a little rabbit just sitting in the woods up against a tree. And I told her, I said, I see a rabbit. She said, why are you seeing a rabbit? I said, it is prey. I said, why? She said, who is prey? I said, the rabbit. And she said, are you the rabbit? And I said, yes. So my soul contract was, this is a big one, that I am prey. That is part of the reason why those aliens, and right now I just want to use a really bad cuss word, they were preying on me. They were preying on my energy because I have prey energy in my body still from being a rabbit. So I burned that contract. I'm like, I'm not praying. So you know what I mean? So this stuff happened 1,000 years ago or 100 years ago. And it's still reverberating right through your life. It's still here affecting your life. Sorry, Katie. It's really important. This stuff, this is what I'm saying. I burned the prey contract. Step one. Then 3 days later, I had this healing where I revoked permission. That's why I think I needed to do all these things, culminating with the revoking of the permission, because I was trying to revoke. Don't you guys think I tried to revoke permission? You guys don't know how feisty I am. I was like, your permission is revoked, MFer. You know what I mean? And it wasn't working. And I was at a loss. Why does it keep happening? You know what I mean? It was really, really a hard 3 months. No matter what I did, they came into my body because I had given them permission. There was like a little hole in the back of my head. Well, the gift that I was given was that I'm not a prey, that I'm a full, whole person who can stand in my power and be independent and not worry about something taking advantage of me. The other gift that I got was to know that I can be, my heart can be vulnerable without, having to protect it. Right? I mean, it was a lot, guys. There was even more, but we're over an hour and I need to go, but there was a lot. And so these things, while we're living this life, this is our chance to have all of these experiences, to get these readings, to get, get a past life reading, get a soul retrieval reading, get readings with different people. So, because these are all little puzzle pieces to your life that you can use. This is usable stuff. The same way, if you have a psychic reading and somebody says, don't date that person or do date this person, that's usable too, right? But don't always just get a psychic reading. Get these other readings and start really filling out your puzzle pieces instead of focusing on one area. I know it's a lot to take in, Katie. I'm double barrel. And I don't mind sharing. I do not mind sharing with you guys. But some of this stuff, I don't like sharing on YouTube with 4,000 people. There's a lot that goes on YouTube, a lot of energy that gets thrown back and forth to us readers, because people in the audience are psychics or remote viewers or whatever they are. And they're reading us. They're sending, they don't mean anything by it, but they don't understand that that's not acceptable. But we get pounded with this stuff. You're welcome. Thank you guys for being members. Oh my God, you had a shamanic healing. Fantastic. Patricia, really? The rabbit is a symbol for fear. That gave me chills, like for real. I have goosebumps. T-Barb, I know you're in a good place. I mean, your energy is so good. It's, and I love that for you, right? And you know what else is interesting? That T-Barb, her energy is so good, but really she's going through some shit, right? I mean, it's not like she's over there eating bonbons. I mean, she's taking care of her mom and a lot of family. So I think that's, good on you to stay. You kind of have to stay above it to heal people. You can't get in there with them, because you're down in that energy too. So you almost have to stay out of the room to do the healing the way we talked about. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We're going to do this pretty often as members. And I had mentioned Zoom. You guys just let me know what you want to do. And, for a while, you notice I'm not really pushing the Patreon thing, right? I'm not really talking about it every time I go on. I don't mind it growing. I want it to grow. I want to help people. This is what Spirit told me I needed to do, was make a community. And I don't mind it getting bigger, but I do like it being a little bit more intimate. So right now, I think we have 40 Patreons maybe. And, if even it got to 50 or 100, that'd be okay. But I don't really want it to get super huge. But anyway, thanks again, you guys, for joining me. And thanks for being members. I got to tell you guys, I really appreciate your support. You guys are amazing. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, you guys. I know I don't advertise it much. I'm going to advertise it a little bit more, but and I needed to go to Patreon because Spirit's telling me something could happen with YouTube, with us psychics in the next year. So I need to have a place, like if my channel gets deleted, then this way we have a way to contact each other that's outside of YouTube, right? So that's why I'm doing this. And Patreon's not great because it doesn't have its own video. It's actually difficult to use, but it's outside of YouTube. So that's why I'm doing this. I could set up a thing on YouTube and have a whole ton of members probably. But this feels more private to me. I don't know. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah, there's some things coming on. You're right. And Patreon's going to add a video component. They're working on it. So hopefully this is good. Hey, you guys let me know what you want to see. What do you want from your membership? Let me know. I'm happy to mix it up. Tara, yeah. So that's the thing, Tara. You didn't tell me that before. I should have put that together. I'm sorry. I have this. Look for my video on starseeds. I have a video on YouTube on star seeds. You need to watch it. It might really help you understand some things. It's a thing, Tara. It's a thing to be a star seed. And I feel like if you know these things about you, your life is going to make more sense, and you're not going to feel quite the outcast, and you're not going to feel so like, what the hell am I doing here? I think it's going to make sense for you. And I can't really go into the whole thing right now, but if you guys comment on the post, like if you want to talk about star seeds, aliens, whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm up for it. I'm happy to do it. Hey, Tony. Oh, good. And you can always watch this video again as long as you have the link, and the link will be on Patreon. You can always watch it. It's just going to be unlisted, so you have to have the link to watch it. Yeah, I know you are, Tara, but it's going to be fine. We're all here. Oh, cool, Ginny. That's great. We're all here to do something unique, something different. And even, it doesn't even have to be a big deal. It can, a light worker spreads their light at the grocery store, you guys. If you have look at T-Bar, if you have a high vibration, all of you guys in this chat have high vibrations. And that high vibration, even if I know I just heard some of you say you don't have one, but I'm here to tell you, you do. Even if you're just walking around, you're lighting up people around you. And that's so important right now. It's so important. Yeah, I knew you said starseed. I can read autocorrect. Listen, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll get in touch again soon. Yeah, even if you just smile at somebody. You guys all take care. I'll catch you guys around. Take care of yourselves, please. And we'll chat again soon, okay? Bye, you guys. You guys have fun tonight. Take care. Yes, I probably should do that. Thanks, Daphne. You guys take care. Talk to you later.